world is such a warm and undiscovered place. You greet the world with open arms and spaghetti on your face. I read you fairy tales and I grasp for something I've misplaced. But Julia, our time grows short. You gotta be in bed by 8. Well, Julia, it's time for bed. Hey, Tracy Jones. Hey, Ashley Corbett. Don't do as I've done, do as I've said. And you say your prayers, and I'll say mine too. That only my good will get passed on to you. Hey, Victoria Smith. If you're tuning in, welcome. We're going to be talking tonight for roughly, an hour or so about what is a bunkie, all you want to know about bunkies, but are too scared to ask. So we'll start in just a few minutes, but in the meantime, if you could comment, if you had never heard of bunkie life, what would you think a bunkie meant? People are saying bunk bed or retreat, camp roommate. Well, I thought your dad was rushing things when he first told me about you. Well, we're still kids ourselves, I thought, and for me, I guess that's true. But now I see our friendship changing into something new. I'm stuck between a boy and the man your father turned into. Well, Julia, it's time for bed. Don't do as I've done, do as I've said. You say your prayers, and I'll say mine too. That only my good will get passed on to you. Show me your perfect world again, and I'll close our eyes together and pretend that life is something we can understand. Julia, try not to grow up if you can. Well, Julia, it's time for bed. Whoa. Don't do as I've done, do as I've said. You say your prayers, and I'll say mine too. That only my good will get passed on to you. That only my good will get passed on to you. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back. I'm David Fraser, founder of Bunkie Life. We're in the building industry, but what we're famous for are small log cabin kits called Bunkies that can be easily built in a weekend without needing any special skills, tools, or second mortgages. Ultimately, we help our clients create extra space for meaningful connection. Yes, we help our clients get a cool bunkie, but if you think it's just about the bunkie, you've already missed the point. Really, what this is about is creating the space and time for more meaningful connection. Having a bunkie is just part of that journey.
Mary just mentioned Bunkie Life family, and I really feel like something like this and just the whole experience is we did more than just buy a bunkie.
It's not just about the space, but what happens in the space, how it enables more connection. It allows you to spend that quality time with friends and family. It allows you to be there for each other in both senses of the phrase. Our family realized this when we were going through a tough time. We needed our family beside us. We had created that extra space with our own bunkie in our own backyard, and we realized how truly important it is to have the whole family together. Bunkie Life is the market leader in educational videos and content as we pioneer this growing industry. Our goal is to be the go-to source for fun, friendly, and helpful advice for families, whether they buy from us or not. Our core offering is an easy to build or built for you Bunkie kit. This helps our clients quickly and easily create extra space without any building experience. We're proudly a Canadian-made family business right here in Ontario. Our Bunkie is often the difference between that friend or family member coming to visit or not, being there for each other or not. The reason we do this is we believe family comes first. And when it comes to being there for each other, there are no do-overs. That's one of the reasons we've partnered with Ronald McDonald House Charities in their goal of keeping families close. Because ultimately, we want to help build a world where families everywhere have a place to unite, unwind, and unplug. We've committed to donating a night stay at a Ronald McDonald House for every Bunkie we sell. Hey guys, I brought you this huge novelty check. Check it out.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
David, this is incredible.
And as of the end of 2023, our team and our Bunkie Life community have been proud to donate close to $200,000. I get up every morning excited to help families create extra space for meaningful connection. Thanks so much for listening, and I can't wait to hear from you. All right, it's going to be a great fun night. We're going to talk about bunkies. We're going to talk about what is a bunkie. That's really the main thrust of the evening. We're going to have Q&A at the end, of course, as we always do. So, welcome, first and foremost. If you're anywhere in the world, you can stay, and this is going to be beneficial. It's going to be educational. You're going to have a good time. But if you're specifically in America right now, in the US of A, the lower 48, and even Alaska, what I would suggest is enter the contest. We are giving a bunkie away, one of our most famous ones, the Haven Ultra Bunkie with Loft, our most popular model, I'd say. We're giving it away to a lucky member of the contest. It closes in, I think, it closes in not that long. So you're going to want to definitely enter, and just go to bunkylife.com. There's a little banner that'll pop up if you're an American. But if you're not, we're going to talk about what is Bunkie Life, what's the big deal about bunkies in general, who are they for, how do we help specifically, and then of course go right to Q&A. Now, I'll also talk about the next few steps of the contest itself. Like I said, enter if you haven't already, and then we'll talk about how you can get extra chances to win just by watching this very live stream. So stay tuned for that as well. Okay. So let me just go to the next thing. So the green one we're not giving away, but we're giving away this one over here, the Haven Ultra. All right. So if you want to check how you're doing, the best thing to do is go to bunkylife.com. I set up a special link, bunkylife.com/scoreboard. If you type that in, it'll take you to the contest scoreboard just to see how many chances you have, and you can find your special link to share with other people, which will greatly increase your chances of winning. So I just want to remind you of that as well. Okay. So another cool thing, we got, looks like a couple hundred people on this live stream. So if you're tuned in live, hey, why don't you share this? Spread the love, spread the word. That would be super appreciated. So if there's a share button somewhere around your screen, click on that. That'd be awesome to get some more people invited to this as well. All right. So now, how to earn extra chances to win during this live stream. Let's go right there, okay? During this live stream, which you're currently watching, you want to listen carefully for a code word or code words that I'll say, and then you want to go to the scoreboard, bunkylife.com/scoreboard, and find the purple button and enter that code word. Okay, so that purple button is going to be available sometime tonight, and if you're watching the replay, it should be up until the contest closes, which is towards the end of August. So that's how you do that. You watch, you listen for the code word. I'll say it just like this, and then you go and enter it. Okay. So now, we asked you the question at the start of the live stream, and I'd love to get more answers. If you hadn't heard of Bunkie Life and you didn't know, you didn't see a bunch of pictures of cabins, what would you think the word bunkie means? So if you could chat what you thought a bunkie was. I saw some funny answers here. I'll pick one and you could be the star of the show for a minute. Bunkie is an opportunity to bond with your kids while building something to be proud of. That's cool. You think this is a good one. Aaron says, I would think a bunkie is someone who's interested in sustainability or prepping. That's not a bad answer. That actually sounds right on track. People are saying they shared. Thank you for sharing. Michael Johnson said, I think it was bunk beds. That makes sense. All right. A bunker, like a place that you would, hide out from nuclear holocaust type thing. We've got some great questions there too. Okay. Bunk beds, roommates. Oh, a roommate. That's cool. A bunker is a mini bunkie. A bunkie is a mini bunker. Okay. All right. So people are saying bunk beds. Okay. Well, let me tell you. Not that long ago, we went to the University of Michigan and we interviewed authentic Americans about what they thought a bunkie was, and you'll be surprised and shocked to learn what we learned, which was their current knowledge as of last year about what a bunkie truly is. So check this out, this little segment, Man on the Street. What is a bunkie? We're here at the University of Michigan. We want to find out what people here think what a bunkie is, and we're asking a few other questions about Ontario and Michigan and Canada, see what they say. And I'm saying you can win cash. So they get to choose, if they get all the questions right, they get to choose a $1 American or $5 Canadian. Let's see what they choose. We're from Canada.
Oh, okay.
You guys are Michiganders?
Yes, we are.
What's your names?
I'm Ethan.
Hey, Ethan.
I'm Gabe.
Ava.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Troy, Michigan.
Darren.
Hey, Darren.
I'm Julia.
Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Farmington Hills, where are you from?
West Bloomfield, Michigan.
First question, and maybe you can collaborate on the answer. What is the capital of Michigan?
Lansing.
I'm not from Michigan. I'm cool with that.
Lansing.
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 Nailed it. Lansing is the right answer. Okay, what's the capital of Ontario? Gabe.
I don't know. Ethan.
It's a city. It's a capital.
No. I'm not sure.
Toronto.
Nailed it.
Oh.
Okay, that's your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. Just say Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto's the right answer. Fantastic. Okay, it's Toronto.
I should have said
Okay,
These sound stupid.
what is the national, or what is like the state bird or animal of Michigan?
Robin.
Could be a bird.
Robin.
Oh, it's the red robin.
Robin, nailed it. Fantastic. You guys are on a roll. Okay. What is the national animal of all of Canada?
Wait. Let me just think about this for a second. I have no idea, but I'm gonna come with an educated guess.
A moose.
It's gotta be like a moose or something.
I can get behind that.
It's not a deer.
Ooh.
Might start with a B.
What do you think, Julia?
Might build his home in the water out of trees. That's right, beaver. Fantastic. The beaver. Okay, no worries. It was the beaver.
Oh.
Okay, last question, final one. What is a bunkie?
No clue.
A bunkie?
A bunkie?
What?
B-U-N-K-I-E. What is it? No idea? Want to take a guess at it?
Somebody who lives in a bunk.
Someone who lives in a bunk.
Slang for bunk bed.
I'm gonna say another word for chill.
Someone that lives in like a cabin.
It is a cabin. Fantastic. Okay, close enough, Michiganders. It's a log cabin.
A small log cabin?
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
that's pretty chill.
Okay, so here's the deal. You can choose. Okay, this is also a skill testing question. Would you choose $1 American or $5 Canadian?
I remember that exchange rate. What do you think?
This stuff is more expensive there.
I think 5. I think it was like a quid, like 3 quarters or something like that.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but I think it's like.
This is a smart guy. You're in that? Okay, $5 Canadian. Congratulations, guys. Thanks for that. Yeah. Okay, have a great day. Yeah. Okay. Guys, I can't give you any cash, but you did a great job.
I
Appreciate
appreciate
the
it.
effort. I really appreciate the answers. Unfortunately, I can't award you up to $5 Canadian, but you did a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so that was our skill testing question. We polled the audience, and that's what we found out about their knowledge or lack thereof about Canadian trivia. But it was a great time, and now, of course, there's a number of people that do, in fact, know what a bunkie is, and every day, that number of people grows. The right answer was $5 Canadian. It's like $3.75 American, roughly. So, any hoodles, we're going to get into tonight's presentation. It's all about what is a bunkie. Okay, so let me just gather my notes here. I'll go over a little bit about bunkie life itself, how it came into existence, and then we'll talk about what a bunkie is. So let's do it. Oops, sorry, too far ahead. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so let's go back in time. This presentation is called What is a Bunkie? So first of all, who's Bunkie Life? So we are a small family business. We're located in Rockwood, Ontario, which is just a little bit north of Michigan. Not too far from New York State. And we're a family business serving families all across North America. If you look on the little dots there, you can see all the states we've been to. I actually asked our logistics coordinator, I said, what states have we not been to? She said North, South Dakota, and Hawaii. So that's pretty much the only states we haven't been to. Apparently, the District of Columbia, which I don't believe is a state. Forgive me on my lack of knowledge there. I don't believe DC is a state. But anyways, those are the places we've been to. You can see little dots there. Some things we're proud of. We've been on HGTV's Family Home Overhaul. CTV's Made Right Here. And you may recognize us from Dragon's Den, which is kind of like the Canadian version of Shark Tank. I'm the proud author of Bunkie Life Extra Space, which is I don't know how many pages, but it's like hundreds of pages and lots of great photos of Bunkie Life clients as well as our family story. We have our Bunkie Life connection cards, which are your standard 52 playing cards with 52 thought-provoking conversation-starting questions. We've also raised over $300,000 for Ronald McDonald House charities over the years and completed, I think, closer to 15 Make-A-Wish builds. But what we're ultimately the proudest of is the success of our Bunkie Life clients. People like this lovely couple here. Hope you can hear this.
Bunkie Life 2019 No Loft. Basically up in a day. It's like putting Lego together. And it's been just a great experience. Great instructions. Everything fell into place the way it should.
Yeah, the delivery, we came here one day and it was delivered to the house or to the cottage in less than a week, and it was up almost the day after it was delivered.
All right, so how did Bunkie Life as a company, how did we start, and what was the kind of the genesis story? So great things have small beginnings, according to Francis Drake. And it started with this. So I live in the country outside of Toronto, Canada, and the question became, after we had our first daughter, there's Evie there, and she's a little kid. The question became, where are we going to put mom and dad? Because our guest room had become our baby room, basically. So we had no more rooms for the guests. And so we built our very first bunkie in 2015. So there is myself, my father-in-law, and my father. I think Carrie took this photo. My wife helped out a lot on this project too. And we built our very first bunkie in 2015. What's now called the getaway cabin. That's kind of what we're making there, the first one. And then I thought, oh, well, these are pretty cool. Would people want to rent these out? So I started renting out my backyard to people on Airbnb, and people just loved them. We were having guests from all over the world coming and staying. I was booked almost solidly the entire first 6 months I had the bunkie, even in like up to Christmas time. So we built a couple more bunkies in our backyard in 2016 and kind of doubled down from there. And then in 2017, I started thinking, well, if it helped our family and tons of people are asking about it, and my friends and family are saying, hey, get me a bunkie, make me a bunkie. What if we sold it to other people too? And so that was where Bunkie Life began. We began with the dream and the goal of helping create a world where families everywhere have a place to unite, unwind, and unplug. And since then, we've gone coast to coast across Canada and then across the USA. But what the heck is a bunkie? So it actually is a Canadian thing. It seems to originate in Ontario. It's like a short form for bunkhouse. So it's like this backyard thing that you would throw in your backyard, and you would have, a bunk bed in there, that type of thing. So it's like the short form for bunkhouse, if that makes sense. And of course, as we've grown out of Ontario and across Canada into the USA as well, the word bunkies kind of spread as well. So it's a cottage thing. Usually it's an extra bedroom at a cottage or a lake house or a mountain house. Bunkies don't generally have a washroom or kitchen, but they can sometimes. People will add those type of things. And they're usually small enough to not need a permit in a lot of areas. Obviously, check with your local mafia. And actually, that right there is the very first Haven Bunkie. That's actually at my house. So what's the big deal about these Bunkies? Well, the cool thing about Bunkies is they're very easy to build. We make our Bunkies so that all the logs are pre-cut and the corners are precision dovetailed together so they interlock together perfectly. Everything's included. There's no measuring. Basically, all you're doing is assembling, essentially. And we want to empower the average person to be able to do this themselves with their friends and family. And that's what about 80% of our clients do. Let me explain how that works. How is it that most clients can build a Bunkie in a weekend, even with no experience? But let me play this little video for you. Hold on, we can restart that. So you see how the logs interlock like this? There is 4 or 5 guys there. They never built a Bunkie before. And with some pretty basic tools, they're able to put the pieces down, hammer them down, screw the corners, and keep going. That's why the average person can do it and get a beautiful result. So a Bunkie Life Bunkie finishes beautifully on the inside and on the outside right away. And that enables something, which is more time and space for what truly matters most. Now, who are Bunkies for? Who are the type of people that are buying Bunkies, building Bunkies? What we've noticed is, over the years, our clients are often busy, hardworking, small business owners, professionals, those type of people, and they often own a family cottage or lake house or thing. So they live in the city, but they have this like rural property where they build their Bunkies. Now, that's not everybody, but they tend to be family people that have a dream for everyone coming together, building something special, having a special experience of building it together, and then there's a space that enables everyone to come visit and be together. So it's like an experience as well as something that they'll have forever. Now, how do we help? So as you may have noticed, we're kind of the evangelists in the space. We are definitely the market leaders in educational videos and content, live streams like this. We want to help people understand what their options are. We want to help people through the planning process, the building processes, and we ultimately want to be the trusted go-to source for helpful information, whether you end up buying a Bunkie from us or not. At least you'll know what's out there and what your possibilities might be. Of course, we're also known for an easy-to-build Bunkie kit that finishes beautifully on the inside and the outside, and you can build in a weekend, often without needing a permit or a second mortgage. We also offer a built-for-you Bunkie, so a large list of Bunkie installers across North America now who can just kind of do it all for you. So it's available kind of as is. A Bunkie's like a 3-season, although there are ways to insulate the roof and the floor to bring it closer to a year-round 4-season Bunkie. Ultimately, though, we help people get more quality time, right? So we want to get people their time back with the people who matter most, because we're in the business ultimately of helping families create extra space for a more meaningful connection. And part of what we offer as well is the Bunkie Life community. So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities, in-person events, like our Bunkie Life barbecue, our open houses, things like that. And we're well known for giving back. So whether that's Ronald McDonald House or other opportunities, and we have a private community just for people who actually purchase Bunkies and are Bunkie Lifers. Over 2,100 people all across North America now. You can kind of see the map here of where we've delivered in the last year and a bit. We're coming for you, North Dakota. So that's kind of what Bunkies and Bunkie Life is all about. And we can't wait to serve you as a client. Let me go back to my face. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to say. And of course, I want to take questions. That's the key thing. Before I do that, though, I just want to let you know the Bunkie Life scoreboard right here. If you're entered in the USA contest, we're going to be adding something very shortly where there'll be a code word. So I'm going to say the code word, and you're going to go right there, bunkielife.com/scoreboard, and get the extra points for watching this live stream. Okay. Okay, now here, speaking of live streams, let's talk about that. So there's a few more. Let me just show you where we're at. We're going to do a number of live streams between now and the end of the contest. And let me just actually share those. So tonight it's Tuesday the 12th of August, and we are on Bunkies 101. What is a bunkie? We're doing that live. In 2 days from now, Thursday the 14th, I'll be talking about how to build. So any questions you have about foundations, building the bunkie, how do the windows work, how the doors work, how does the roof work, etc. We'll explain that all on Thursday. And then on Sunday, we're going to talk about what being a bunkie lifer is all about. So what is it like to actually go through the process that you may be considering going through of actually either winning a bunkie if you're lucky or buying a bunkie if you're a little less lucky. And we can talk all about that on Sunday night. So that's kind of the next little bit. So if you haven't already set your calendars for those two events, we've got tonight, obviously, we've got Thursday the 14th, and we have Sunday the 17th. Okay, so let's talk about questions. What questions can I help you with? I'm going to go to the chat now. And if you could kind of keep them to like bunkie related questions, that'd be awesome. We did do a live stream last night about the contest itself, and it should answer 99.9% of your questions about the contest and points and chances to win, etc. So I'll probably skip those questions if it's about the contest, but if it's about bunkies, we'll get into it. And if it's about building questions, I might punt to Thursday. So just about bunkies generally. Let's open it up to. Okay, so Jeanette asks, is the wood pressure treated or will I have to weather treat it? So the wood, we actually ship, other than the floor, like the floor pieces, the floor joist rather, there's no pressure treating. So you're going to want to, for sure, stain it in the first year ideally, and then we can make some suggestions of how to do that. There's lots of great companies that do floor stain. So a short answer, no, but it's pretty easy to, it's relatively easy to do that. But it's a great question. Is there a way to attach the bathroom bunkie to a regular bunkie? Madison, it's a great question. Lots of folks have done this. So yes, there is a way to do that. Ashley Haynes asks, I'm not sure it's a stupid question, but is it possible to winterize? It depends on where you're at, Ashley. So if you're in like northern Minnesota, that's going to be tricky. If you're in like the middle states or even the southern states, definitely possible. We do have people that have winterized their bunkies and live in them full time here in Ontario, but it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not like a house, right? They're still, at the end of the day, they're a bunkie. So to winterize them, I would definitely, just make sure you're having a conversation with one of us just to make sure it would work for you, and make sure you're up for the challenge, because it's a little bit more work to winterize it. You can insulate the roof and the floor, and it gets most people to like 3.9 seasons. It's just those, depending where you're at, if you have some really cold winter nights, then less ideal. What roofing and flooring materials come with it? Great question, Nina. So the floor is made up of tongue and groove spruce, like the rest of the kit, and the decking boards are the same tongue and groove spruce. And so that's kind of where the kit ends. You'll need to put some type of a finish like shingles or metal or shakes or thatch or whatever you want to do for the finish on the roof, but everything else, like the structure and the tongue and groove roof decking, is included in the kit. Oh, Sam, my delivery is scheduled for the first week of September. I can't wait. Awesome, Sam. Well, thanks for tuning in. That's great. Does anyone insulate the walls? Mike Peoples asks. Well, Mike Peoples, some people have done it, but it's a little bit more of a project. The floor and the roof are super simple, relatively cheap to do. The walls are more complicated because you have to work around the windows, and it's like a little bit of a job. So what I always tell everybody is if you're just planning on using it more recreationally, then I would do the roof and the floor really well season 1, come back and talk to us, after the first season. And most people are go, yeah, it was fine. I put in a good heater, and it was fine. And in the dead of winter, we brought like a good sleeping bag type of thing. I haven't had too many people insulate the wall after the first year. What type of foundation? We'll talk about it more in depth on Thursday night, Dean. But there's a few options, and some of them are cheap, some of them are expensive. There's lots of options. Oh, Aris, is last night's live stream still available to watch as a replay? I'm going to be adding a page, that's bunkylife.com/TV. I'll add a page so you can go back and watch all the live streams throughout the whole contest. You can binge watch them. What is the R value of the bunkies? Not much, Jody, because they are, at the end of the day, just wood, right? So Not tremendous, although there's a lot of thermal mass. It does tend to there's a lot of thermal mass to absorb heat. Are we worried about politics messing up shipping bunkies to the US? As of right now, I don't think so. We're still under the old trade agreement, which actually doesn't expire, I think, for another 10 years. Even if it doesn't get renewed, I think we still got about 10 years. So we are, as of right now, we've never been tariffed, with the exception of our bathroom bunkie, because we don't make that ourselves. We import that from Europe, our European partner. So there's like a small tariff, not too much, like 5%, maybe 6%. But 99% of our bunkies are made in Ontario, and so 99% of our stuff is 0% tariffed. So that's good news. Are the bunkies for four seasons for living in year round? Not really, Angie. That's not really the purpose of the bunkies. Although some folks do that, that's not really what the product is made for. Is it easy at electrical or plumbing? I'd say easy for electrical. Plumbing is a little more of a thing. If you have someone that is skilled in that area, it's not too hard to do, either one. Will the bunkies survive the Arizona heat? Adrienne asked. We have a number of bunkies that have gone to Arizona, and so far, so good. Haven't heard anything that's been too crazy. You're going to need air conditioning, like I'm sure you know. Would insulation handle the Alaskan weather in this, in the 3 seasons? Yes. In the dead of winter, probably not. You're not going to be able to live in a bunkie in Alaska. That's not going to happen. Is it made with pine? It's made with actually premium J-grade spruce, which means there's minimal knots. But there are some little aesthetic knots, but generally speaking, if anything has a big knot that might pop out, we don't ship that piece of wood. So we're pretty choosy with what gets sent out. How easy are the bunkies to take down and relocate? Not that easy. Like, you can build a bunkie in, say, 2 or 3 days. It's probably going to take you 4 or 5 days to completely disassemble it. And it's a job. It's a bit more finicky work. So usually what I've found is everybody that buys a bunkie, puts it on a property, they tend to just say, I'll sell it with the property and I'll buy a new one. Just because they're a lot more fun to build than unbuilt. So, doable, yes. When we filmed for Dragon's Den, we actually we disassembled the bunkie from the show and we sold it to one of the dragons. So it is doable, but it's just, you got to think ahead and plan for disassembling it later. Can you put a small wood burning fireplace? Yes, Danielle, sorry. Lots of folks have done that. There's a really cool company called Cubic Mini Wood Stoves out of Quebec, Canada. There's also a made in USA company called tinywoodstoves.com, I believe. So I'd check out those 2 options. How well do they withstand wind? So far, with basically no exceptions, the bunkies have held up very well. We don't yet have a hurricane rating though, Angie, although some bunkies have successfully survived in hurricanes in Nova Scotia and also Florida. But I don't think they were direct hits. And a tornado, if it wrecks your cottage, it's going to wreck your bunkie. just so you know. Oh, Finger Lakes. Yeah. That's cool. We do actually send a number of bunkies out there, Rich. So that's cool. Should the bunkies be in a sunny or in a forested area? Okay. Yeah, either way is fine. There's lots of bunkies in the forest, lots of bunkies out in the sun. Any way you can type the floorboard size. So, email me. I can give you the exact measurements, but they're basically 1x6, basically. Diesel wood heaters and wood stoves can winterize any dry cabin. Exactly, Karen. Now it'll be comfortable and warm with a big heater, but of course you need to keep that heater going because as soon as you turn off the heater, your relatively uninsulated bunkie is going to get cold. What is the thickness of the wood? So the wall boards are 2x6, and then the floorboards are 1x6. The only disappointing thing with bunkies that they would not be livable in the winter or in the summer. They're very livable in the summer, especially if you have a little air conditioning unit or a fan even. Very 99.9% of people are using their bunkies all summer. And in the winter, it just, like I said, it's usable, but you're going to need a good heat source. You're going to need to insulate it, and just realize it's not a house. If you have those expectations, it's fine. What type of foundation? We'll talk about that on Thursday night, Jody. Great question. Have you ever made a sauna bunkie? We had a sauna for a while in our lineup, and we've just been so busy with making bunkies that we haven't got back to making saunas for a couple of years now. What hurricane rating? We do not have proper hurricane ratings done just yet, Rick. We're in the process of doing that. I'm hoping we can get Miami-Dade hurricane rating, but there's a lot of steps needed to go to do that. How long does it take for a bunkie to get delivered? So right now we're kind of booking September. In other parts of the year, we might get back ordered more, but our goal this year is to just make Bunkies all winter. We're not going to have any shutdowns or slowdowns. Going to go. And just keep making Bunkies all winter and hopefully have a big stockpile so that we can deliver faster and not have a back order. But so far, we've always had a little bit of a backlog, but not too bad. What is the weight limit of the loft? I believe it's 2,500 pounds, I believe. But it might be 4,000 pounds. If you email me, Donovan, I'll give you an exact. And it depends on the model, but I'll give you an exact. How hard is wiring the interior of the Bunkie? Not too hard. Lots of folks run conduit, surface mount conduit. So not too bad. Can you simply install sheetrock if you want a flat walls? You can paint. Well, you can stain the Bunkie and stain it any color. So it's like painting it. Sheetrock I would not recommend just because the walls themselves are going to contract and expand. When it gets hot, they're going to expand a little bit. When they get cold, they're going to contract a little bit, and that might mess up your sheetrock. There's workarounds for that though, Kevin. But that's you wouldn't just screw drywall onto the Bunkie. That would not work. If these are as easy, having a few would be nice. Family reunion for sure. There's lots of people with like little Bunkie village for family reunions. Do we get a Bunkie song? I might play a song on the way out. I got my guitar kicking around, so let's see. All right. Got people from Chicago. Fantastic. Enemy customers lined up 2 Bunkies face to make a possum trot style cabin. I don't know what a possum trot style cabin is, Karen, but I'm interested. Could you email me a photo of what that is? That sounds cool. My son is looking to build a Bunkie for him and his girlfriend in their backyard. Interesting. Oh, I'm a DIY contractor in the Missouri Ozarks near Branson. Interested in being in a solar dealer. Are you open to that conversation? Sure. Yeah, email us. We're always adding to our list of people that are good people that will serve our clients for sure. Can you add a guardrail in sales? Yes, Chucky. In fact, a lot of clients do that. Can you do a Black Friday, buy a Bunkie, get a Bath and Bunkie free? Maybe. That's a good idea. Or something like that. You never know. I know lights have no light pass through, but there's water getting if there's a hard rain. Not if you stained and sealed your Bunkie correctly. We'll talk about that on Thursday, but basically a good quality wood stain and some sealing of the corners, and water will not get in. It might, yeah. What is longevity in terms of Bunkie, in terms of rot, weathering, etc.? It's a great question, Victoria. So my Bunkie is closing in on 10 years old, and I've had to stain it really twice now. So I had to stain it twice. I put a good metal roof on it so it lasts for life, and so far so good. My parents have one that's about the same age now, maybe a little older, and I actually stayed in it last weekend, and it still looks amazing. Like pretty much brand new, with the exception of they had to stain it twice. So you'll have to maintain the stain, but if you've got good quality stain and a good quality roof on it, it should, like there's log cabins that are 100 years old, right? So is there a fun Bunkie community in Maryland? I know we've sold some in Maryland, but not a ton. The Bunkie Life community on online is 2,100 people. They're all spread across North America, and you can get a lot of great questions answered. If anyone is in Maryland, you can connect with them there. How hard to put an AC unit? Not hard at all, Jill. If you type in Bunkie air conditioning or heat pump, there'll be a little how-to video. Oh, yeah, a mini split would be easy. Exactly. I was going to say that. You took the words from my mouth. Would it survive all the rain in Western Washington? I don't know about all the rain in Western Washington, but if it's not like a full-on flood, should be okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're talking about like Seattle area. Yeah, we got lots of clients out in Seattle. I'm assuming you're meaning Seattle. Or just the west coast of Washington, yeah. Do they come equipped for heating and air hookup? Not like pre-done, like you've got a shell to work with. We sell you the shell, but very doable. How do they hold up to snow loads? Well, Carrie, I can proudly answer that question that pretty much in 99% of North America, we have properly engineered the Bunkie, all our Bunkies for like northern snow loads. So there's pretty few exceptions where we would not be passing snow loads, like up in the top of a mountain or something crazy. But other than that, basically in 99% of America, or probably more, in Canada, we're building code compliant when it comes to snow loads. Has anyone in West Virginia built a bunkie? Absolutely, Laura. You can go back to hold on, maybe I'll share my screen later in terms of where they built them. I'm trying to find my little map again. Client map. Yeah, pretty much everywhere but North Dakota, South Dakota, and Hawaii is pretty much what I've been seeing on the map as of. Yeah, let me pull up the map here. The client map. So West Virginia, it's in there. Sorry, it's hard to see exactly. I'm sure there's some in West Virginia. You can kind of see there. This is high quality special effects. Oh, that's a good question. How many of your bunkie lifers end up buying more than one? Well, North Kent Country Rustics, we always say buying a bunkie is like getting a tattoo. As soon as you finish your first one, you're already thinking about your second one. So I can proudly say it's something like 20% of people buy. Maybe they'll buy the little bathroom bunkie or a second bunkie, or sometimes they move and they need another like set of bunkies. But yeah, a lot of people are buying their second, third, and fourth bunkie. We also sell to like campgrounds and RV parks, and so oftentimes we'll add 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 every year kind of thing. How easy is installing the roof? Can a nearly 6-year-old couple in failure? Yes. Now it's a little harder to do the second story ones, right? I would suggest spend the $50 to $100, rent a good scaffold for the weekend, and do it that way. With the Haven Ultra specifically, you can do a lot of the work, build the loft, stand in the loft, and do like 85% of the work from inside the loft, which isn't as scary. But you will need to get up on a ladder or ideally a scaffold. So yeah, we've had lots of like 60, 70-year-old people do it. But yeah, just take your time. If you can, rent a scaffold. That's my advice. Watching from Oregon. What if I buy a bunkie and then decide to move? You can take it apart, but I think I said this earlier, Corrine, it's like not the most fun experience to debuild a bunkie. Oh, can you add a bunkie, a doggy door? You probably could. Yeah, you probably could. You have to cut it out though. I want a bunkie village. Cool. All right. Oh, how do we sign up to help build bunkies for others? Okay, so oftentimes we'll take volunteer. We'll do a little call for volunteers. I think it's like, let me just double check that. I'll announce it on the next live stream. But yeah, we do volunteer things. So if we're doing like a Make-A-Wish build, things like that. So yeah. Text in here, but I'm got property in Oklahoma. Cool. Could you join tour more together? Yes, Jonathan. If you email me, I can send you some photos of different ideas. So it is doable. Okay. I think this would be perfect for Connecticut. Our weather has been quite mild. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Reach out. How far will you deliver for free from your Rockwood location? So, David, it kind of depends. If you can be flexible about when the bunkie comes, sometimes we'll do free or discounted shipping. Best bet, if you could, once you know what model you want, email us and we can give you like a direct quote based on your timeline. If we can tag a bunch of bunkie deliveries together, which we often do, like fill a truck, then we can offer discounted, sometimes even free shipping, depending where we're at. Okay. Your videos are great to show how to stain and paint. Okay, cool. Thanks, Catherine. I'm glad those are helpful. It's probably my wife. Someone asked, is there a specific reason you don't manufacture the bathroom bunkies? So they just have, in Europe, there's like these standards of wood that's like a little bit thinner. And just the price point is really good. And for bathroom bunkies, it makes sense. Those little small things. Because we're so busy at making our normal bunkies, we just decided, we've used this partner for like 10 years now, roughly. And just keep they can keep helping us. So it's probably less than 3% of our actual business, but it's a great kind of thing to add on to a bunkie, is like that little bathroom bunkie beside it. And so we'll probably eventually make it in North America, but not right now. Are there any units in the southeast Missouri area? Let me refer to my client map. Missouri. It looks like southeast, not so much. Although if you go to, if you're willing to cross state lines, in kind of southern Illinois, there's a guy, Keith, Bunkie Life Heartland. You could visit him. And I know he'd be happy to show you around his place. And if not, you might have to go to Tennessee. It doesn't look like there's anybody in southeast Missouri. If my math is accurate, Fred. But email us. We can, there might be some bunkies getting delivered this week. So, hope I'm just going by my client map. Okay. Maintaining stain is always necessary for wood products. 100%. Yeah. Oh, we got someone from Michigan. Good to see you, Wendy. I love our Michiganders. Is the roof shingles? So it's up to you. We'll include it in the kit. There's the wood, and you can add shingles or metal. It's your choice, and it's at your expense, but we'll help you order it. There are tons of videos on Bunkie Life that show how customers have customized theirs in different ways. True. There's just amazing things our clients have done with their bunkies to make them uniquely theirs, and it's really inspiring. We try to post that once a week, at least on our different social media platforms. What are the electrical options? Lots of options. You just might need a professional electrician to come and do it for you. Can you put a bunkie on stilts? Absolutely. I've got one on stilts. I can't show it to you because it's getting too dark, but behind us is a bunkie on stilts, and my parents have one on stilts. Tons of clients have one on stilts. Let me share my screen. Hold on. This is we're doing it live. bunkylife.com. Hold on. Okay, if you go to our web page and then click on gallery. So here's a bunch of photos, but if you scroll down a bit, you can see someone stilts. Like this guy here, not crazy stilts. This one here is my parents' bunkie. Still have mom's bunkie on our website. It's so professional. This one is not my parents' bunkie in Parry Sound, Central Ontario. And there's tons more that we've done over the years. This one's technically on stilts, but yeah, this one is really cool. So, if you follow any of our Instagram pages or Facebook pages, then there's lots of good stilt bunkie photos. Very doable. Just make sure you do it safely. How many do you think you have in Oklahoma? It's a good question, Angie Boyle Monero. Let's refer to the client map. Oklahoma looks like 10-ish. Sometimes people buy 2 or 3, so depends, but 10-ish. I'd say 10-ish. Once again, the accuracy of the client map is, back of the napkin accurate. North Dakota, Donovan, we want to work with you, sir. You and your family. And if you know anyone in South Dakota, we want to check off those 2 states. No South Florida. I don't think we've delivered to Florida, but not South Florida yet, Shannon Ford. Are there any in the thumb of Michigan? Absolutely. Yeah, we got the Yoopers, we got the thumb, we got the mitt, we got the pinky. I don't know if it's a pinky, but yeah, Michigan is. Let me refer to the client map, Renee. You can't even see. There's so many in Michigan. I don't even know. It's just all over Michigan. That's like our, next to Ontario. That's where we do our thing. Love Michiganders. Okay, so that's not helpful, but there's a lot of dots. Okay, this client map is coming in handy. Do you offer financing at Bunkies? Yes, we do, Christine. Go to bunkylife.com/financing. How do you source the materials? Okay, so this is awesome question. So all lumber in Canada is sustainably grown. It's just like a bottom line thing, and we tend to use British Columbian spruce. We've tried everything: Alberta spruce, Ontario spruce, East Coast spruce. Tried it all. We've zoomed in on spruce because it doesn't tend to warp and is a lot denser than like pine and less likely to kind of give you problems, but isn't crazy expensive like say cedar. And even cedar's got its own problems. So we've zoned in on spruce. It's what we've been using for years now. And then J grade is like the highest level grade that you can buy, just because there's not a lot of knots and it's looks very white and beautiful. That's where we get most of our wood from. Every once in a while we'll buy stuff from Ontario or Alberta, if we're in a pinch, but generally speaking, it's J grade from BC. Now, if we start making them in the USA, that may change for our American clients, but as of right now, that's what we're using and we'll use for the next year or two for sure. We are in the UP of Michigan, have one. Geneva, good to see you. That's awesome. Brennan's. Okay. Good. It's cool when people kind of pop back in and say hi. That's wonderful. Can you add extra windows and loft here? Yes, Laura. Totally. Looking at buying a second bunkie to make a his and her shed. Nice. Let's make it happen, Nancy. Only one bunkie in Florida? I think it's more than one, but just not a lot in South Florida. Okay. Dream of building a Bunkie mini campground by our pond. Very cool. Okay. Is the top window interchangeable when building front wall instead of back wall? I think so, Kelly, but just if you could email me, I want to make sure I understand your question properly. Do you make a single story bunkie? Yes, we do. Check out our website, bunkylife.com. There's kind of non-lofted bunkies and lofted bunkies. Tons of options there. Well, not tons, but there's options. I'd love to connect too. Is this been addressed? Yes, it has, and yes, you can. Kind of air conditioner, heater. I do like those Mr. Cool DIY mini splits. That's what I have at my house, and they work great. We have a couple at the factory, not Mr. Cool units, but like those kind of units, and they've done a great job heating and cooling our bunkies at the factory all winter and all summer. Okay. Now some of the questions I'm skipping because I've already answered them. Do you have to have permits? I'm in Ohio. We've sold a lot to Ohio. It probably depends on your county, Mel. Double check with your local mafia if you're concerned about it. If no one's going to see it and no one's going to care about it, still check. But Three Rivers, Michigan. Gary King, good to see you, buddy. I'm in Nebraska. I'm wondering if I have to have footings or pad done. We'll talk about foundation on Thursday if that's cool, but not necessarily. You don't need to pour a pad per se. Is there a bunkie that came out on a trailer? Yeah, kind of, but generally speaking, not too many people have done it. What's that a foundation what I need? For the Haven Ultra, the one we're giving away, it's 10 by 10. Sorry, 10 by 10 plus 3 inches. How many can you fit into a shipment? It depends on the truck, but 6 to 12. Any bunkies on the side of a mountain? Yes. Check out how does it look like to deliver up a winding mountain road. We've done it a lot of times, so it is doable. But email us, and Stacy, our lovely logistics coordinator, will make sure we can nail it. Do you service Arkansas? Yes, we do, and yes, we ship there. What about Nevada, Reno? I think we've definitely gone to Nevada. I don't know specifically if we've gone to Reno. We have more clients than on the map. Oh, so the map is a little bit old, Gabriel's saying. Yeah, the map's a tiny bit old, but I'd love any bunkie. Seattle. Yes, we go to Seattle a lot, actually. That's probably that's one of the, I'd say like the Washington area was a very, continues to be a very busy state. And they kind of gravitated towards bunkies very quickly when we first started advertising. Can you purchase extra wall boards to make your own extra bathroom? Sure. And we also sell a little bathroom bunkie kit. So I'd probably recommend that. It's probably actually going to be cheaper. What's the average shipping cost? It really depends. So email so I can give you an exact quote. Less than you think, though, in a lot of cases. Can the bunkie just sit on the ground? I would not recommend that, Patty. You want to have some type of a foundation. It doesn't need to be a concrete pad, but you need something. Do you ever set bunkies on traditional cement foundation with a crawl space? I haven't seen anyone do it in person. I've heard of people doing it. You just need to make sure it's done properly. Can you do an 8-sided turret tower? That would be so cool, but I don't think, Rick, we currently have the technology to pull that one off. I'm in the middle of making a Bunkie Ultra Haven right now. Just insulated the roof and tore it, put it in the middle. Hamish, that's cool, buddy. I hope it's going well. That is awesome. Very, very cool. I'm curious where you're at in the country, Hamish. Okay. Can I invest in Bunkie Life? Currently, we are not taking investors. But call us next year because that could be a thing next year. South Louisiana here. Best way to protect against heavy rain. How you make? So, obviously, a great roof. You're going to want to make sure you stain your bunkie with 3 or 4 coats of like the good stuff, water repellent stain, and you're going to want to chink your corners. Chinking your corners is like the seal specifically made for log homes. You're going to want to do your corners for sure. And then, of course, have a dehumidifying. Like, I'm sure everyone has those kind of dehumidifying things, like a mini split would dehumidify as well. Lightning proofing. That's a roofing question, but yeah, you probably just a lightning rod if you're in a lightning prone area. Any tariffs? I'm assuming you mean tariffs currently? 0%. And I do see us being 0% for the near term, probably long term, like next 5 years. But we'll see. How many in Iowa? Christine, let's refer to the client map. Asterisk, this client map is not not brand new. It doesn't show one, but I know we do have one in Iowa. So I think it says none, but there is one because I know I checked the box earlier today. So we've been to Iowa, but probably one or two at the most. That was your client map update with Dave. Bonnie, we built one in Idaho this year. Cool. Oh yeah, Daniel. Oh man, I gotta see those photos. If you haven't sent them in already. Okay. I'm surprised there aren't many more in Oregon. It's true. Like there's a decent number, but Washington State, that's kind of in the hotspot out west, and California. We're thinking of doing a bunkie for our son in northwest Montana. Yes, Montana is a great spot for bunkies. Any suggestions for adding a screened-in porch? We can talk about it on Thursday, Kim, but not too hard to do if you got a little bit of handy skills. Not too many in Georgia. Our seasons would be fall, winter, and spring. Totally. Summer's unbearable. I mean, you probably want to have a good... either way, I think you'd want to have an air conditioning unit for sure. What are prices like? So prices for Bunkie Life kit range from about $6,000 to about $25,000 roughly. And that's for the kits. Obviously, you have to add, if you want to add beds or office space, furniture, and you want to add the roof too. So, call it $7,000 to $25,000. Do you add adhesive between the wood planks? No. Oh, how many can be packaged on a full shipment for a discount? About 6 to 12, Bonnie. What about Douglas fir? It's also a decent wood. That's probably our second choice, but right now we're just like zooming in on J grade spruce. It seems to be like. How do people stay warm in the winter? We'll talk about that on Thursday too, a little bit about insulating for sure. Okay. Can bunkies be connected to make rooms? Yes, Jody. What type of toilet do they have? Bunkies don't generally have toilets, Bernie, although some people add them. I didn't know you're having another contest. Has a secret code word been said? Not yet, although we're going to get there. Snow load for the roof? Yes, all of our stuff is rated for northern Canadian snow loads. If you need specifics about a specific model, email us. Oh, Bonnie says email them. They were great communicators with it. I think you're talking about Bunkie Life. Our shipping was free. Okay, so Daniel must have qualified for free shipping somehow. Maybe it was really nice, really kind. Sent us some Montana treats or something. Okay. All right, man. These are great questions, and I'm trying to get through them all, but I'm realizing I'm not even close to the bottom of these amazing comments. Okay. We have an amazing composting toilet in her bathroom bunkie. Awesome. How about New Jersey? We do have strict laws. Well, let me refer you, Victoria Smith, to the client map. Time for the client map. Client map. Client map. New Jersey. I'm trying to zoom in on it. Unfortunately, the client map is too obscure. But I know New Jersey's somewhere around here. So I'm going to go with we've done it. So obviously check with your local mafia to be sure, Victoria Smith. But sounds like it might be doable. New Hampshire, we've been there. Client map says so. Quite a few in New Hampshire, land of the free. What is your favorite customer? That's unfair. I'll tell you what actually gets us up every day. I wonder if I can show you guys this without giving away. I probably can't do it without giving away privacy, but we have a group chat that we all have in the whole company. It's like 40 of us. And we share these like little wins of like people sending in their photos. I love when people send in photos of like their grandparents and the grandkids and everybody is together building a bunkie together, and those little videos and little clips of the the little 3-year-old like pretending he's helping. That's what personally makes my day. And those are my favorite customers, the ones that actually build the bunkie together as a family. Now, not everyone does it. Not everyone has the time or the inclination. I get it. But for about 80% of our clients, it's a family experience as well as a great product that they can sleep in later or use as an office. And so I really love the people that rally the troops and get it done together as a family. That's my favorite. Shouldn't have favorites, but those are my favorites. Any bunkies in Texas? Rhonda, I can equivocally say yes, but let me refer you to the client map. Client map. Mostly in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, kind of northeast Texas. So we're looking for people in the south of Texas, but so far, yes. And there's been more since we've, like, there's a thing of bunkies in Galveston. Like there's like 20 bunkies in this one park. more of a business context, but yes. Oh, hope you add these onto a playlist. Yes, we will do that. Yes. Okay. What tends to be this is a great question, Ashley. What tends to be the biggest mistake people make with bunkies? Well, generally speaking, I think it's a category not a lot of people know about, right? And so it's like they think, oh, we can never have an extra bedroom. I either have to build on a bedroom and I got to get permits and I got to go through all this hoops and I'm just never going to be able to afford that. So they don't do anything. Or they think, I got to build a second house or something crazy, or I got to sell my house and move to some other house, which is kind of a shame. I have to sell the family cottage. So I'd say the number one thing is people just aren't aware that bunkies even exist. So that's a shame because it is to a very narrow group of people. I just need extra space for when my friends and family come to visit. It is the perfect solution. And oftentimes you don't need a permit, or you need like a little, basic permit. It can be very simple and it solves a lot of problems. Oh, I just want a separate room where I can do my work. And then also a place my mom and dad can come and sleep in. It's like the perfect for that, So most people have never heard of what a bunkie is. That's part of the reason we do all these live streams and videos and stuff. Is we want people to understand, it's not really a house. It's not really a shed. It's somewhere in between. And it does that. It solves that problem of like, I wish I could have everybody here for Thanksgiving. I wish the kids, when they're home for university, come and stay at my house for a week or two. That type of thing. So I'd say that's the number one mistake. And there's like little mistakes that we all make, but that's the number one thing is people are unaware the category even exists. Are there any bunkies near St. Joseph, Missouri? Let me check at the client map. Missouri. I don't know where St. Joseph's is exactly, but it looks like there's a bunch sort of in the center to northeast of Missouri. You can email me if you need more information. Crazy question. Is it structurally sound enough to support an indoor swing? Absolutely, Tim Penner, for sure. Do you have any in Mississippi? I was just in Mississippi 3 days ago. Let me refer you to the client map. Looks like it. Somewhere in that area. It looks like Louisiana, looks like Mississippi. So yes, answer is yes. Client map. Have you ever considered a display model for people to visit on this side of the border? Yeah, well, we actually have. Obviously, a lot of our clients are very cool, and if you're really nice, they'll often show off their bunkie to you, but you have to be nice, not weird, and willing to drive a little bit. But if you could drive to their place, a lot of times people will show off their bunkie. In South Illinois, which is like right here, there's a Bunkie Life Heartland crew, another family that has rented out their bunkies, done similar to what we did, and so they are kind of, I guess, technically kind of Bunkie Life. I don't know, they can sell bunkies, right? So, anyways, you can visit them too in a more official capacity. But a lot of these folks all across the nations will show off their bunkie if you're nice and you're not weird, and you're pretty serious about getting one. It's not like a day trip. It's like I'm serious. I'm going to buy this. I just want to smell the wood once. That's fine. Hamish asks, given how small the bathroom bunkie is, how would you recommend heating/cooling to ensure the pipes don't freeze? / it isn't horrible when you go. So a small localized heater, I would say, and then some type of if you have pipes, I would say like pipe warmers. We're talking about the dead of. You're in Connecticut though, right? So it's not crazy. But if you're in a colder spot, probably localized heaters. Stacy Sky, this is the aforementioned amazing logistics girl that works for Bunkie Life. Lots of people in the northern Oregon/Portland. The map makes it look like they're in Washington. Okay, let's refer to the client map. Client map. Yeah, it does like. So yeah, if you look at Oregon here, it looks like they're in Washington, but they're actually in Oregon. So Oregon representing. Thanks, Stacy. Okay, these are all great pieces of advice. Okay, so it's been about an hour. I like to hold on. If you check Slack, Dave, I sent you the live link to zoom in. Zoom in where? Oh, okay, that's fine for the map probably. All good. I think I might wrap tonight. These have been such great questions. I don't want it to drag on too much. And so I'm going to say the code word. Okay? The code words are extra space. The code word tonight for the live stream is extra space. All right. Well, I will go back and I will spend a little bit of time tonight, and I'll reply your comments on the live stream, like manually typing. But I don't want to drag on too much. These are great questions, and we're going to answer build questions. Let me just reiterate when that happens. So that happens very soon on Thursday, the 14th. How to build. We're going to be answering all questions about how to build, and then on Sunday, what's it like to be a Bunkie lifer? Being a Bunkie lifer. Now, I want to give you a little teaser. I'll be announcing at one of these live streams the end of summer sale. So we usually do the contest, we finish the contest, and then we do our big sale. But I'm going to tease it out a little bit before that this time. So if you're interested in hearing about that, come to these live streams. And either way, you want to get those points. So don't sleep on this. Tune in on Thursday night and Sunday night. Set your phone alarm so it goes 5 minutes before, and you remember to do it. Beyond that, I'll show you how to do that if you're an iPhone user, actually, because I need to do this for myself. So you go to clock. Hold on, that's not right. Go to clock, and then grab a time, and then set it for exactly when the live stream is in your time. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in my case, and then I'm going to do it on Thursday and Sunday. See? Now it's going to beep me and tell me that I got to go to that live stream. Saving it. Okay, so that's the idea. I hope it's been a slice. Like I said, I'll try to answer all the questions on text till late tonight. And what a great turnout. What a great live stream. We are very, very excited to be giving this Bunkie away in just basically a couple weeks. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you again on Thursday night. Have a great night.